And go.
Oh, record, right?
Yes, record.
All right.
You're live.
We are live. Duncan's kicking it off. You got it, buddy.
Jacks up in the boxes, and the clowns have all gone to bed. You can hear happiness trailing on down the street, footprints dressed in red, and the wind, it whispers Mary. A broom is drearily sweeping of the broken pieces of yesterday's life. Somewhere a queen is weeping. Somewhere, you know, a king has no wife. And the wind, it whispers Mary. And the wind Mary, traffic lights, you know, they turn up blue tomorrow and shine the emptiness down on my bed. And the tiny island, you know, it sags on down the street, 'cause the life that they lived is dead. And the wind, it screams, Mary. Will the wind ever remember all the names it has blown in the past? And with this crutch, this old age and this wisdom, whispers, no, this will be the last.
How's that, everyone? How is that? Thank you so much. This is episode 8. We've done 8 of these concerts. And this one tonight was called Gershwin, The Wind Cries. What was the title, Lisa?
The Wind Cries Gershwin. No, yes. No.
The Wind...
Gershwin Cries Mary.
Yeah, so Lisa and I were sitting there figuring out what is the show about. And we thought, well, we love Hendrix, and that last piece was by Jimi Hendrix. And by the way, I gotta show you this. A friend of mine knew that we were doing this concert, and he sent that poster to me of Jimmy playing, bending a string off the neck of his guitar. It's just killer. Anyway, that might find its way up to Spragueland walls at some point. Yes, so we loved Hendrix, and that was called Wind Cries Mary, and then we're also going to do some Gershwin tonight, so we thought the blend was rather clever. So thank you so much. I'm going to check in with my wife, Stephanie. She's monitoring the chat, and what do you know? How's the sound?
Getting good reviews. People are saying the sound is good, lots of clapping, so... I don't hear anything negative at all, or any things to improve on with volumes, etc. So, we're Peter Rahill. Seemed like all well in the audiovisual department. Sounds good.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's someone we can trust. Good.
So, should I do my little spiel, Peter?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So, welcome tonight to Spragueland Studio live stream. Thanks for tuning in, and it's great to have you. It's going to be a great show. Peter was describing it, but I'm going to call it a mix of respectable jazz infused with illegal rock-inspired jazz.
I like that. Illegal?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not supposed to do that, but we're doing it.
I'm going to be turning over the chat tonight to a returning guest. He's an overall qualified guy. In fact, just earned his doctorate in cable connections.
Wow.
From Palm Springs, California, Brian Baltazar.
Let's hear it. Hey, Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. I think we're in for a good show this evening. I just wanted to let everybody know, all the different musicians in the room here that are in the studio, that this last week I was down by Beacons Beach and I was picking a bunch of cans out of the trash cans so that we'd have enough juice tonight to keep the AC going. So we're good there. It's feeling good. There's a little slight breeze here. So tonight what we're going to do is go ahead, Steve, if you want to go over and switch over to the camera. What we have is a map that has pretty much, I guess, the world, and hopefully you see that. And I had sent out an email to a few different people today. If you just go ahead, if you're on texting, if you text in the city or into your chat, your live chat, if you just go ahead and type in the name of the city and possibly state, but the city should work. And it should pop up, and you'll see your name fly by with a different icon, and you'll see a map, a pin drop on the map.
And you have to let them know that we're not trying to collect their address.
No.
It's just sort of a fun tech thing. Brian, I just have to tell you, Brian is our tech master, and he created this thing, and he's got... Anyway, it's amazing that it worked, because it didn't work last night, but it's working.
All right, and thank you very much. We're just kind of getting a feel for who's out there, because we see, several hundred people watching the shows, but we have no idea where they're from. So this gives us perspective.
It'd be cool if some people came from far away.
Hey, well, you never know. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Even if you're not far away, just say you're from Russia or something, and it'll show up on the map. It doesn't fact check that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and it sounds like the sound it sounds very good. Fantastic.
Good.
I think we're doing good there, and so let's get back to the show.
Okay, well, folks, let me tell you who's in the band. I'm Peter Sprague. Right above me in the room, here at Spragueland, we're all quarantined. We're not wearing masks, but we are in separate rooms. So right above me is Gunnar Biggs on the bass. Gunnar Biggs. Good evening. Over there in that room is Duncan Moore on the drums. Yeah, everyone, we all need to chip in some, not quite that loud, but, and then in the far room, that beautiful saxophone solo, that's my brother Tripp.
Hey, Tripp.
Yeah, Tripp. And our special guest tonight is Lisa Hightower. She's on vocals. How about a hand? As it is a tradition of ours at our live streams, when we get somebody new, we like to let you get a little bit of history on them, so you know where they came from. And I'll first tell you where I met Lisa. It was a bunch of years ago. We were playing a gig at the Rancho Sante Fe Inn, sort of a fancy upscale place. And there was a waitress that said, "Hey, I like jazz too. Could I sing?" And I think Lisa, did you sing? It was How High the Moon?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was How High the Moon, and she sounded good. And since then, we've done a ton of records, lots of gigs. She's a great friend. And the thing that I think is kind of interesting about her is, I had only really known her as a jazzer, but she had this whole prior life before she moved to California where she was a rocker. And we've got some good pictures. So Lisa, I'm going to ask you, the first one, the band was called Rare Illusion. So Steve, you got that?
Yep.
Okay, good. So we've got the slides. So that band, look at it's a hair band. What year was that, Lisa?
In the 80s, like 85, 86. Some of the ladies from my band might be watching, and if I say anything wrong about these pictures, you may get some comments. Who knows?
Okay. So the band was in the 80s, and what music were you doing?
We were doing some originals. We were kind of a show band, so the first set we would do the lighter side of top 40 rock, pop and rock, and then the middle set we would do like a show set, which was 30 years of women in rock. So we did everything from Stevie Nicks to Jefferson Airplane to Heart. So that was kind of the show. The middle section was the show, and then the last set was in your face rock and roll, Sammy Hagar, ZZ Top, that kind of stuff. So
okay, then the second picture is one Steve, you can just give each one of those pictures a little bit of time, because it's funny that you've got such attitude. You've got these tight pants, these tight red pants.
Those red pants still are in one of my drawers in my bedroom.
Do they fit?
And if I lay down just right and take a big breath, I have worn them for Halloween once or twice, but they're starting to feel uncomfortable. So I think.
But gotta save them, man.
Yeah.
One of the pictures, it's number 5, Steve. You have your stage set up with all these keyboards. So Lisa is going to play a piano song tonight too. So she plays keyboards, but it's kind of neat to see your keyboard set up. Did you know? Well, that got me thinking. Did you guys have roadies, or how did you?
We did. We had 2 ladies, lights and sound, and then a guy who used to run lights for us, who didn't go on the road for the majority of the time, partial time. He used to joke, if you can't lift it, don't play it. But if you see in that gear picture, I had a couple keyboards on the left, but my main keyboard was a Yamaha CP70 Grand.
I saw that.
So it had strings, and it came apart, and it was heavy.
Yeah.
So yes, but we had two girls, but we were all ladies, and we all kind of pitched in. But the lights and sound, they set up their stuff, and then we all kind of helped set up our own area.
Fantastic. One of the funniest pictures, well, first off, there's a picture of the band bus parked at the beach, and that's the bus. It's like a school bus, yes?
Yes, and we had several vehicles before that. We had a green step van that we called Booger, and that was like in the very beginning.
And then my favorite I'm sorry, did you have another?
Well, the white bus we called Moby Dick, and it used to be a circus. It was a bus that went around our little town in Illinois. It went around and picked up kids to take them to this circus mall that was at circus that was at our mall. And so it had clowns on it when we first bought it. We took house paint and just painted over the clowns. So there was Moby Dick, and we took out all the seats except the first 4 rows, and then everything else was drum riser, gear, and luggage.
Oh. Well, the last picture is my favorite, and is this your grandmother? Your grandmother and her friend?
No, it's my grandmother and her sister. And they look like they just got dropped off onto the planet Mars.
I know.
And they were still, God bless them, they're both gone, but they're looking down and hopefully smiling tonight, and thankful they're not on that bus anymore.
Yeah.
But they flew to Calgary. I believe it was Calgary. If any of my buddies are out there in the band and you say it was Edmonton, it might be, but it was someplace in Alberta.
Yeah.
And they wanted to come up and see the country, and so you come up and see us, you get on the bus, and I looked for a picture. I had a picture of my mother in a straw hat, and she was actually driving the bus, and I couldn't find that one, so Mom,
It's
sorry.
so great. I mean, if I was your parent, I would totally worried that you were going to just go off the deep end after looking at those pictures, but thank God it all worked and you're playing jazz with us now.
Yeah.
So super stoked. Hey, we're going to just tune into Brian with the chat for 1 second, because it looks like that the calendar is, or the map is filling up. What do you know?
Yeah, what it's looking like here is you have your dream come true. We have some people over in the Soviet Union and down deep in the South Pacific, over in Asia, watching the show. Yeah, and peppered all throughout the U.S.
Great.
Fantastic.
But are they really there?
Yeah, how do we know if this is legit or not?
You have to have faith. All right, back to the show.
All right, good. Well, we're going to play now a piece by Gershwin, George Gershwin. Gershwin, they were 2 brothers, the older one being Ira Gershwin, and he was the lyricist, and his younger brother, George, wrote the music. And together they wrote some incredible songs. This is called But Not For Me.
Old man sunshine, listen you. Don't you tell me dreams come true. Just try it, and I'll start a riot. certain it's the final curtain. I never want to hear from any cheerful Pollyannas who tell you fate supplies a mate. It's all bananas. They're writing songs of love, but not for me. Lucky stars above, but not for me. With love to lead the way, I found more clouds of gray than any Russian play could guarantee. I was a fool to fall and get that way. Hi-ho, alas, and so lack a day. But still I can't dismiss the memory of his kiss. I guess he's not for me. He's knocking on a door, but not for me. He's playing a 2x4, but not for me. I've heard that love's a game. I'm puzzled just the same. Was I the moth or flame? I'm all at sea. It started off so well. This, let's pretend. It all began so well, but what an end. The climax of the plot should be a marriage knot, but there's no knot for me. But there's no knot for me.
Yeah, beautiful, gang. Beautiful. So, folks, we are going to have a piece now that Lisa wrote, and it's a piece where she plays piano.
And Kristen Gilbert. Kristen, hello.
Oh, that's right.
Kristen
That's
Gilbert.
right. That's right. And so let me get the piano up, and I'm going to mute the voice for a second because what has to happen is they're moving the mic. So, let's see. I had a couple questions for the band guys. Duncan, he came into to the studio. Let me get this going first. Duncan came into the studio this week for the live show, and he has a new drum set. Duncan, tell everyone about the drum set.
Okay, well, my very first drum set when I was in 7th grade was a 1967 Ludwig Black Diamond Pearl drum set. I still remember getting it on Christmas Eve, like biggest moment in my life. Anyway, and that was a drum set I had for many years, but foolishly sold it at some point and got something newer and shinier. And so a couple years ago, I happened to go on Craigslist, and a guy was selling this exact identical set 6 blocks from my house.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like it was meant to be, one of those kind of things.
Of course, that's
So
what you...
this is a 1967 Black Diamond Pearl Ludwig kit, identical to my first kit. Except for the snare drum, it's a different drum.
And were you saying something about it's the same kit that the Beatles had?
Yeah, well, not the same color. Ringo, I think, had oyster pearl or something. It was blue oyster pearl, I believe, maybe was the name of it.
Okay.
Something, maybe somebody online can correct me if I'm wrong, but it was slightly different. But it was Ludwig, and Ludwig, the night that the Beatles played on Ed Sullivan, apparently Ludwig's business like skyrocketed, like quadrupled or more overnight. I mean, they couldn't keep up with the orders.
Fun fact.
Just overnight, yeah.
Fun fact, love it. Hey, Tripp, this happens so often. People say, God, we love the way your brother plays, but why is his sax so rusty?
It's a 1959 Selmer Mark VI.
And is that why it's so rusty?
No, it started out shiny. Let's see if there's any. Oh, here's a little shine. Right here.
Doesn't it ruin the sound?
Well, the repairman said, well, the way to make it shiny again would be to re-lacquer it. They take it apart and dip it in some stuff. But the repairman said, don't ever re-lacquer it. And it makes the value go down, so, because it can change the sound.
So, the reason that you wouldn't want the value to go down, because you're trying out this thing for playing jazz, but if all fails, you'll sell the sax and get more money for it.
That's right. and there's even some there's some new saxes that are made with what they call antique finish that kind of looks like this.
Ah.
So it's cool to have it look like this.
Yeah, I know.
It's cool.
Okay, well, thanks. And then Gunnar, I had one quick question for you. I remember Gunnar came in one time with his upright bass, and it's called the end pin, and it's the part of the bass that comes out of the bottom here, and he rests it on the ground. And I remember when you got it adjusted or something, and it took you for a surprise. Tell the folks about what that is.
Well, actually, tonight I'm rolling old school. I've got the old end pin in now.
Why?
But
it's more comfortable, sort of?
Well, no, it's just easier to play different types of music with a different setup. The new end pin is actually angled at about a 30-degree angle to the ground and off center.
Uh-huh.
Takes a couple of days to get used to it.
Yeah.
I dropped my bass a few times, not quite. But it gives it a really good sound. But playing jazz, I found it better to just stand. I felt a little more mobile and a little more connected to the music.
Yeah.
But when I do classical solos or classical music, I do use the angled pin. It's called a Labouré end pin, if anybody's interested. And
Can you get 7-Eleven? Do they carry it?
7-Eleven? No, they do not. But Circle K has a new line out.
Oh, that was a funny joke.
Ba-doom-pa.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm back with the old tried and true.
Well, you're
straight
sounding good. You took a nice solo. How about a hand for Gunnar's solo? That was
Thank you.
really good. Really
Peter,
good.
can I say one more thing really
Sure.
quick? This will be fast, but I wanted to give a shout out to my good friend and bass player who I played with for many years, who is probably on the chat room tonight, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the bass player in my high school rock band, and he remembers the original Black Diamond Pearl Ludwigs.
Is that Randy Ward?
Randy Ward.
Ah, that's great.
He's also a good tipper.
Yeah. Tripp's the finance guy, and then, so Tripp knows the lowdown on who's tipping well and not. And so Randy Ward's a good tipper. Neat.
Okay, well,
Thank you, Randy.
Yeah, thank you.
that's good to know because I never know who's, I got to thank him.
And I have to tell you folks, thank you so much for the tips. It's been just keeping us alive. I mean, the music's keeping us alive, but this is just helping too. It's really, we really appreciate it. We are going to do this song by Lisa. Lisa, tell them what the song is about.
Okay, so about a year ago, almost to the day, like another week passed, last week, Kristen Gilbert came into my life, and she is my partner in crime at Terry, Inc., where I am the director of music, and she's the adaptive theater instructor, and we put on shows together. If any of my Terry players are out there listening, I want to give a big shout out to them. Actually, tonight, while I was here rehearsing with everybody, we were having our official the plans got approved for our first vocational building at the campus that will be an all-inclusive campus out on Twin Oaks Valley Road. So the vocational building will be built. We're going to have a recording studio and a theater and a swimming pool and horses and acres of organic gardening, and it's going to be really great. I hope I live to see everything be built. So anyways, a big shout out to the Terry players. This song, Together Again, Kristen sent me a voice memo and kind of gave me the initial melody line, and she had a lot of the lyrics, so I pretty much listened to her melodic voice on my voice memo on my phone and put up chords to make this song happen. So what we wanted to, we took the words of our clients, the people that are in our music and theater department, and asked them how they were feeling during this time, because they didn't understand really why we weren't able to see each other and why their parents were keeping them home or why they were in our residential homes and couldn't go anywhere. So we were trying to get their feelings. So this is a lot of their words too. And we tried to let them know that their feelings are valid and that we are all feeling the same thing, but we have to be patient and we have to treat this time with respect and we have to learn from it. So that's kind of where the song came from. So there you go. Together Again.
And just touch your piano to make sure I've got it. Okay, good. There it is. Okay, so Duncan's got the tempo.
gotta respect. This time, got to speak the truth. Speak the truth. We gotta this earth for giving us food to eat. We gotta respect each other. We will not accept defeat. You and me and you, together again. You know it's been a few. We gotta respect. This time we're gonna see it through. Me and you. All this time, so very far apart. Missing human touch is so hard on my heart. You may say, where do we go from here? Look inside your heart, it's very clear. We will get to hold each other's hand one fine day. We gotta respect this change. We have to find a better way. We gotta respect this land. We have to mean what we say. You and me and you, keep moving on. That's what we have to do. We gotta respect. This time we're gonna see it through. Me and you. You and me and you, together again. You know it's been a few. We gotta respect. This time, yes, we'll make it through. Oh, me and you, together we'll make it through. Together we'll make it through. Together we'll make it through. Together again.
Sweet.
One side note on that too, Peter, if people want to look on Terry Inc., their Facebook page, Instagram, whatever, you can see my clients. Kristen and I produced a video with them singing with us. It's a shortened version, but TERIINC.org, terry.org, and you can see our clients actually getting in the act and singing with us.
Nice. Great
Love you
tune.
guys.
Great tune. Great tune. All right. We're going to play a Beatles song now. Let's see. Mute the piano. Mute the voice for a second. We're going to play a Beatles song. We're big fans of the Beatles. You know, we kind of almost every gig do some sort of Beatles song. And my fancy thing that I love doing is taking their song that have such strong melodies and then coming up with new ways to interpret it. And let's see, Duncan, I wanted to ask you, what was your first memory of the Beatles? Was it when they were playing, when Ringo was playing that same drum set that you're playing now?
Yeah, it was probably like most people from our generation. It was the Ed Sullivan Show. We had been hearing little rumors, and my sister, who's a few years older, of course,
Yeah.
she was, all the girls were going crazy. So I was kind of hip to what was coming up, but I was so young. I don't know, how old were we? I guess 9 years old? 8? No, not even that. Maybe 7 or 8. But anyway, it was the Ed Sullivan Show for sure.
Yeah.
Can I jump in on this, Peter? For
Yeah,
just a
can you
second?
give us a taste?
Yeah, actually, Duncan, it was February 9th, 1964. But oftentimes, I teach a lot, and oftentimes we do these lecture concerts, and people always ask you, when did you start playing bass? And I say, it was February 9th, 1964 at 8:30 p.m. And they don't believe it, but I went home and I told my dad, I've got to have an electric bass guitar.
Yeah.
And because I wanted to be Paul McCartney.
What did Dad say?
And by the way, I was 12 then, Duncan, so you can do the math on how old you were.
So
What did your dad say?
He said, that's another part of the story. He said, yeah, I'll get you one, but you got to learn to play the big bass, the real bass at the same time. So he was in the faculty at the music department at San Diego State. And he said, okay. So I got the electric bass, and one of the students had one. He gave me an upright bass, and in 2 weeks I was in San Diego Youth Symphony. That's how bad they needed bass players. But I actually did fall in love with the acoustic bass at that time, though. February 9th.
February 9th. What time again was it?
Well, I think came on, the show started at 8, so I think they were on around 8:15 or so.
Oh, I love that. Great story.
She showed me her room, isn't it good? Norwegian Wood. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. I sat on a rug, biding my time, drinking her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for told me she worked in the watering and started to laugh. Told her I didn't and crawled off to sleep in the When I awoke, I was alone. This bird had flown. So I lit a fire. Isn't it good? Norwegian
Super cool. Thank you so much. That was a cool version. I like the way that turned out. Hey, let's hear from the Chapmeister first. Let's see if there's anything news going on.
People are really digging the show. It seems to be coming off fairly well. You know, I just want to let Tripp know that I have a couple extra bottles of hand sanitizer that we might try to buff his instrument up with after the show.
Well, I heard I heard with sanitizer you can drink it too to buff your insides.
Yeah,
too.
it's a cure-all. So that's it. Everybody's really enjoying the show, having a good time. Let's move on with it.
Okay, and let me tell you, we do have a tip jar, folks. We call it a virtual tip jar. Regulated in the band is my brother Tripp, who is an accountant, who is not an accountant, but is very good at accounting. And so the tip jar, all the money tends to go to him, and then he figures it out. And
Oh boy.
no, you got to trust him.
All right.
He's a smart cat. He knows how to do spreadsheets, ladies and gents.
You know, I noticed that Tripp pulled up today in a brand new sports car.
Oh, bro.
The funny part is when we have live streams that are close to each other,
I know.
it's a lot of times it's hard to tell which live stream the people are donating, because they come in. Some people, it seems like they watch a couple days later, then they donate, 3 days later, and it's a mess.
It's a great mess. It's a great mess to be involved in. And how it works is a lot of people, there's kind of 4 pathways. Zelle is with Chase or Wells Fargo Bank. Zelle is a way to do it. PayPal. And if you do PayPal, call us a family or a friend, and they don't end up charging us fees. The third way is Venmo. And the fourth way is old-fashioned snail mail. And I think Steve, and also at the very end, Steve right now is putting the information on how you would do that. But know that we will put that at the very end of the show too, and leave that up for a bit. So thank you so much. The concert that we did for Stevie Wonder raised a bunch of money, and we gave half of the money to the Black Lives Matter movement, and it was great. It was very generous of all of you. I really appreciate that. So let me tell you what's up next. We call this show, and this was my wife Stephanie's idea. She said, I said, let's call it Live from Spragueland. Spragueland is the name of our studio. She said, why don't you call it Live-ish? And I like that. And then Brian, who you've heard from, and he's the guy that had the map going, he said, maybe the ish factor, he calls it the ish factor, could be that you get people involved from other parts of the world through technology. So we have done that. We've gotten a bass player friend of ours from Ireland, lent a track. Steve Kujala, a couple of weeks ago, flute player from LA, lent a track. So tonight, I'm happy to announce that my good friend Sinne, and she's a singer. That's her name. She's from Denmark, and it's a different kind of name. We haven't heard it much, but that's how you pronounce it. I think I'm pronouncing it right. She's a one. I don't get the last name right all the time. Sinne, that's it. Sinne, she's a beautiful singer. She's been over to the U.S. a bunch of times. We've done touring. I've done a lot of touring with her in Denmark and other parts of Europe. Beautiful singer, and we're going to play a song that she wrote. It's called Samba Comun, something like that. It's in Portuguese, and she tells the story that the national jazz radio station closed down in Denmark, and everyone was super sad, and this inspired her to write this song. And it's basically like jazz is our community. We still have a lot to be thankful for, but let's stay together and play jazz. So what's going to happen is I'm going to turn on the click. So I sent her a track in Denmark, and then she recorded her voice, and we're going to see her too. She's going to be on the screen, and we're going to play her tune. Let me just make sure. Yep, it's all there, and there she is. She's in her piano room, and let's see how this works.
Triste ou feliz, todo samba me diz que pandeiro vai nos proteger. E bom pra mim e pra você. Acredito em você, pode crer. Vamos assim, todos juntos de braços pro ar. Quando o samba é bom, salta a noite, cai no amanhecer. There's a place beneath the sun, a home for everyone, where someone's waiting to answer your call, just because, or in spite of it all. It doesn't matter where you are, in the shower or in your car. It doesn't matter if you're blue or you're gay, hip or square, night and day you're okay. We'll play you a song. We are here, turn your radio on. Please lend us an ear, for a smile or a tear, and we will be your friend. Laugh and cry with you straight to the end. 'Cause you are a star, and we love you, whoever you are. smile or a tear, and we'll be your friend. Laugh and cry with you straight till the end.
Yeah.
'Cause you are a star, and we love you wherever you whoever you
Yeah. Ah. So cool. Nice. So that's Sinne singing from Copenhagen. And I'm curious what's going on there, but I know that in the beginning she had some touring and stuff. She was planning. Oh, I get to keep that. Good. She had some touring that she was planning on. I don't get to keep that. Okay. That she was going to do with us here, and she had other gigs lined up that had to get canceled. So I'm not sure, but when I talked to her, she said she's doing great and good life. All right. There we go. Okay, so we got a couple more for you. This is I Got Rhythm by Gershwin. Once again, we're visiting Gershwin. And it's a classic tune. And we like doing this thing where we play the verse in front, and the verse is what sets up the story. A lot of these 10 Pally Alley songs came from musical plays, and the verse is where they would sort of set the stage for what the story was going to be. Okay. 1, 2, drudge, drudge.
Sunny with never a sigh. Don't need what money can buy. Birds in the trees sing their day full of song. Why shouldn't we sing along? I'm chipper all the day, happy with my lot. How do I get that way? Look at what I've got. I've got rhythm, I've got music, I got my man who could ask for anything more. I got daisies in green pastures, I got my man who could ask for anything more. Old man Trouble, I don't mind him, you won't find him round my door. I got starlight, I got sweet dreams, I got my man who could ask for anything more.
moment. Great use of space. Gunnar got it.
music. I got daisies in green pastures. I got starlight. I got sweet dreams. I got my man. Who can ask for anything more?
Good drum solo there, Duncan. Very, very nice. All right, we have one more piece for you. Can't wait to play this one. This is one that we recorded on Lisa's record called Second Wind, many moons back. And
I think it was 96 or 7.
96 or
something like
7.
that, yeah.
And go ahead.
Well, I wrote this tune, most of the tunes on this album. What do you call them now? Albums or CDs?
You call them relics.
Yeah. With an old friend named Mickey Maga. So he and I wrote a lot of the tunes on this particular album. And Peter and Steph's daughter Kylie is on the cover.
That is such a cool thing. Do you have a picture of that, Steve?
Yes.
Yes, that's Kylie when she was a kid on the cover. I love it. That was.
And the Second Wind was kind of like we were trying to come up with a name for our band, and it was like we both had come from different types of music, and it just was kind of our second stab at music. So that was kind of that's where it came from. Was just trying it again. And oh yes, so this the song in the month of May. If my friend Dana Clark is out there, she should be hopefully watching from Illinois, where I'm from. And she actually had a friend that passed away kind of around the same time that my brother John passed away. And she wrote this letter to me about losing a friend of hers, and I think it was a motorcycle accident or something. But anyways, they kind of coincided. And so it made me think about what it feels like to lose someone. My brother was he was an actor and a piano player, and so we were kind of kindred spirits. So it was rough losing him at 37. So that's kind of what this song, and there's a couple songs on that album that have to do with his passing. So anyways, hi to Dana, if she's out there. Thank you for the inspiration of this song and all the girls in Rare Illusion. Thanks.
All right. Let's do it. The month of May. Okay, Duncan, you got it?
It happened in the month of May. She said to me in a letter, I feel the pain you feel when you lose someone that you care for. You were always there for. Things will never be the same. You should have seen the look that happened there within my eyes when they told me that you didn't open up your eyes. You know that very moment haunts me in the middle of the night. Oh, no more teardrops falling down, it's only pouring rain. Keep us on our knees and help us to remain. And even in our darkest hour, may we pray to see the light. It happened in the month of May. She cried to me in a letter, the pain you feel is real. When you lose someone that you care for, you were always there for. Things will never be the same. Different, please take my hand and know I understand the pain. Now only memories keep us thinking that the love remains, and knowing that these things are real and they may never go away. The memory of your spirit flows inside me every day. Sometimes it feels as if you never even went away. I only hope that time will tell and that the peace will find us all. And I wonder why did you have to go away? For so young was I. My life would be different if only an instant why couldn't you stay? Oh, in the month of May. Oh, in the month of May. Open up your eyes. You know that very moment haunts me in the middle of the night. Oh, no more teardrops falling down, it's only pouring rain. Keep us on our knees and help us to remain. That even in our darkest hour, may we pray to see the lights. It happened in the month of May. She said to me in a letter, I feel the pain you feel. Quite the same. Oh, in the month of May. Oh, in the month of May.
Okay, good people. Thank you so much. That was In the Month of May, written by Lisa Hightower, and that was a great night of music. Let me tell you, we want to send a special thanks out to Mark Lessman. He's a saxophonist we're going to do the next live stream together in 2 weeks. We're doing them every other week. It got to be a lot of work trying to do it every week, so we're doing it every other week, and we're going to do a quintet with Mark Lessman, and looking forward. And thanks, Mark. I guess you're out watching. Leonard Patton is watching, our favorite jazz male vocalist, extreme Leonard. Peter Rahal, of course. Ron Satterfield. Ron Satterfield is a wonderful composer, guitarist, singer, and him and Lori Bell and Tom Yaros are going to do a live stream here later in the month. Just their trio. They call themselves Trio de Jour. De Janeiro. Trio like Rio de Janeiro. Ah.
Now he gets it.
They're really good, so look out for that. And Robert Bush is a jazz writer. He writes articles, and he had a podcast going there for a bit, and he's a really good friend, and thank you for watching. So on behalf of the whole gang here at Spragueland Studios, we have Brian Baltazar, that beautiful map of where you all came from, that showed up in the beginning. That's his doing, his technology.
Well, thanks for the people that sent in, but I want to give a shout out because it was based on Aaron Parecki is the name of the developer, the open source developer that put it together, and he's a fantastic guy. We love his support. Thanks much.
Thank you. And then we have my wife, Stephanie, who is
Hey,
here.
Steph!
And she does so much for the live stream. It's really been fun for us to do this together. We have a lot of fun and planning it. And you know, part of the good look, sorry about that, the good look of the way that the visuals are, that's her doing. She spends a bunch of time making sure everything looks cool.
Thanks, Peter. Yes, I have to clean up a lot of clutter.
She does.
It's like a frat house in here.
Oh, but it's worth it. It's worth it. And then the technologist, that Steve Grant, who knows a lot about music and how to cut, and he's the switcher. Steve Grant. And then, of course, the band. Gunnar Biggs up right above me on bass. On his new Gretsch drums. Duncan Moore on the drums.
Ludwig.
My brother Tripp playing up a storm on sax, flute, and percussion. And of course, Lisa Hightower. What a beautiful singer. What a beautiful person. Great. So there you go, folks. We're going to leave you with the tip jar if you feel inspired. And thank you so much. We are having a ball doing this, sharing music and
Bye,
good times.
everybody. Thanks
Bye.
for tuning
Take
in.
good care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.